is a proper fraction. A proper fraction has a smaller numerator than the denominator. So if we were looking at these as examples, this would be a proper fraction as this and this. These two would not be because 10 is bigger than 2, and this is not because 9 is bigger than 8. Which brings us on to improper fractions. What's an improper fraction? It's when the numerator is larger than the denominator. So mixed numbers. A mixed number is where we have a whole number and an additional fraction. So for example, this 1 1/2, 2 3/4, 4 7/10. They are all mixed numbers. An improper fraction can be changed to a mixed number by dividing the numerator by the denominator and then putting the remainder over the denominator. So here we know that 8 is the numerator, 5 is the denominator. So we say, what's 8 divided by 5? That's just 1. And there's a remainder of 3. So our step 3 would be 1 3/5. Note, the denominator does not change. So, just as a recap, we say how many times does 5 go into 8? That's once. Remainder 3, so that's where the 3 comes from. So convert 25 over 6. So how many times does 6 go into 25? Well, that's 25 divided by 6 is 4 whole ones. Remainder 1, because 6 times 4 is 24. So that's 4 1/6. 14 over 3. So we say 14 divided by 3 is 4, remainder 2, so this will be 4 whole ones and 2/3. We may be asked to go the other way around, so from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So here we're going to be multiplying, so we multiply the denominator by the whole number and then add the product to the numerator. So we would, in this case, we would say 2 times 4, and then we would add 3, and that will give us our fraction over 4. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11 over 4. So 2 3/4 would be 11 over 4. Here we've got 11 multiplied by 9. We would then add the 5, and it's all over 9. So that's 99 104 over 9. So here's a chance for you to have a go at changing some of these from improper to mixed and from mixed to improper. So I'd suggest pausing the video now and then having a go and checking that they're all right. So here you can check to see if your answers are all correct. And if I can just bring your attention to this one, obviously if you left your answer as this, it wouldn't be correct. It wouldn't be fully correct because you always need to make sure we simplify fractions, and because 6 over 8 can be simplified, we must finish off as 12 3/4. So now we're on to multiplying fractions. When multiplying fractions, you simply multiply the numerators together multiply the denominators together, and then simplify if possible. So 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 5 is 15. Now in this case I know that both 6 and 15 are divisible by 3, so this will become 2/5. Example 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 3 is 12, and this simplifies to be 1/2. 2, now this is a whole number, so this sometimes confuses people. We must make sure it's a fraction, so we place it over 1. So we say 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 4 is 4. Obviously gives us an improper fraction, but we would still need to make sure we simplify it, so that's 3 over 2. We can leave that as an improper fraction. Here we have 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 7 is 35. I know that 5 goes into both of those, so it's 2/7. Now, if you're quite happy with that method, then just stick to it. Just make sure that you're doing the simplifying at the end. However, you may like to look at this option, and if there is a number that is common to either numerator or either denominator, then you can actually cancel them or simplify them before you do the multiplying. So I can see here that I have a 3 on the top and a 3 on the bottom. Now it doesn't matter, they're different fractions. So if I divide both of those two by 3, this now becomes a 1, and this now becomes a 1. So I'm now doing 2 times 1 and 1 times 5, and I get my simplified answer straight away. Similarly with this one, 3/4 times 2/3, I can see I have a 3 on the top, so they are both divisible by 3, so it makes 1. But look, I also have a 2 and a 4, and I know that 2 goes into both of those. 2 goes into 2 once, and into 4 twice. So I now have 1 times 1, which is 1, and 2 times 1, which is 2. I'll just show you those two examples. As I say, it works with anything as long as you're dividing, you're simplifying from both top and bottom. So if we've got mixed numbers and we're multiplying them, first of all you need to make them into improper fractions. So this is a good recap of changing improper fractions. So we've got 1 times 2 plus 1. So that's 3 over 2 times 2 over 3, which gives us 6 over 6, which we know is 1/2. 2 3/4, so it's 2 times 4 plus 3. Then we multiply it by 1 times 5 plus 1, which gives us 11 over 4, multiplied by 6 over 5. 66 over 20, which simplifies to give us 33 over 10. 5 3/5, so 5 times 5 plus 3, so 28 over 5 times 1/6 is 28 over 30. Again, they simplify. So that's, I know 4 goes into both of those. Oh, what am I saying? 2 goes into both of those two, so that's 14 over 15. Here we have 4, which we know is 4 over 1. We're multiplying that by 2 times 9 plus 5. So that's 4 over 1 multiplied by 23 over 9, which is 92 over 9. And I think that's as simple as that can go. And the last page we're going to look at the moment is dividing fractions. So here we're going to divide fractions. First of all, you change this divide sign to a multiply. You take the second number only and turn it upside down. That means you're finding the reciprocal of the second fraction. So 2/3 divided by 1/5 we would write as 2/3 multiply by 5/1, because 5/1 is the reciprocal of 1/5. We then multiply as we did before, so 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 1 is 3. 6, we must make sure that they're fractions, so 6/1 multiplied by the reciprocal of 1/4, which is 4/1, which is 24/1, which is just 24. 3/4 divided by 5/8, 3/4 multiply by 8/5, so 3 times 8 is 24/20, and I know that 4 goes into both of these two, so 4 goes into 24 6 times, and 5. 1 and 1/2, so we need to change that to an improper fraction, so that's 1 times 2 plus 1, multiplied by 3/2, again it's the reciprocal, so it's 3/2 multiplied by 3/2, which is 9/4.